Because most of the mentors and coaches, they are more of a Gyan gurus. They just come and give the knowledge and go away. If you want to be the highest paid coach and mentor, your job is not to talk. Your job is not to inspire. This can be good when you're a motivational speaker on the stage. But as a coach, as a mentor, this is the quality you need to have. It's a huge difference, right? Really important topic, because all that while you must be thinking what Dave is doing. I had one of the most important role is to observe and understand everybody has got a different style, different unique elements in them. Some good, some not so good. Okay. To make sure that everybody is on the same page, you need to understand the different levels of coachings. We've only known one way of coaching, but they're not just one. There are four different ways of coaching and helping to transfer the knowledge and wisdom that you have into somebody else. The first one, which is the most common practice that we follow, is informational coaching. Now, what is informational coaching? Anybody?
You provide only the information which you know.
Yeah, it's just the informational, more like a data dumping. Oh, you should do like this, you should do like this, right? Here's what has worked for me, you should do like this, you should do like that. It's just one way. It's typical like your mom and pop style of coaching. Your mommy and daddy will not do anything else but just to tell you, ऐसा ही करना है. And ऐसे किया है, तूने को भी ऐसे ही करना है. This is the typical way of coaching. And if you look at the corporates also, they only follow this method of coaching. Everybody is just following this, right? Some people go little better by being the sandwich effect. You guys know sandwich effect?
Good.
Sandwich, yeah. Good, not so good, and good. That's the flow of the coaching that they usually do. Very common, okay? But most of that also is what? Informational based, right? So I'm not going to go in detail. It's very self-explanatory. If there's no style of coaching that you have, then by default you have this style. Okay? The second is inspirational coaching. तुम क्यों स्माइल कर रहे हो? तुमको पता है कि तुम उसमें हो. Inspirational coaching is where the coach shares a lot of their stories, right? When they ask few questions, say, you know what, savers, why is it important? Look, this savers changed my life. I was this, I was bad, I was horrible, I was terrible. Then I realized savers, and I realized that this is better, this is better, this is better. So by sharing your stories, indirectly, you're inspiring other person to take that step as well. Is little advanced than information, because now you're connecting that to your personal life, and that person also is understanding that, okay, if it has worked for Amol, Som, Aniket or Umesh, it will work for me as well. So you're inspiring the other person by your stories, your example, or somebody else's example. It's more of inspirationals, and you try to bring the other person up with inspiration. Then there's a third way of coaching, which is self-realization coaching. What is self-realization coaching?
You have to make them realize.
You have to make them realize. So one way, this is 80-20. This is coach, or what do you call this? Mentee. In this model, 80% of the time coach is talking, because coach is giving information. Same goes in this as well. But in this, what happens? Absolutely opposite. This is where you do only 20% of the talking, they do 80% of the talking. And then there is a fourth step, the fourth style of coaching, which is what? Observational. Now, what is this observational? I'm sure you might have not heard this term before, because I've also not heard it. I made it today.
Invented by Dave.
Invented by Dave Gadhvi. So what is this?
You observe. You are
Okay.
an observer. You are a good observer.
Okay.
And then, once you observe everything, then you will tell them, अपने ऐसा है वैसा है."
Okay. No, wrong. वो तो इसमें भी करते हो, ऑब्जर्व करके इन्फॉर्मेशन इंस्पायर करते हो.
Passion per we have.
Okay. Okay. Very close.
Example, what you are doing right now, that is observational coaching.
Ah.
Bronze type.
Meaning? Can you explain?
You know what needs to be done, but you want to know how it is actually done. Those things, what are the outcomes people are getting.
Or rather, sorry.
Every nook and corner, every bend, everything you're observing, you are analyzing what is the best thing you are taking out of it, which is not required. You'll filter it out. And in every way you are observing it. And it is not just that, it is also helping you to analyze how you are building it.
Well, you have to be observational in all these things.
Another observation, like my take an observation coaching is somebody who has such good grasp over this coaching thing that he knows the entire process. He knows what the subject is going through, and he observes like what exactly he knows what will happen next. But he's just observing, and if required, he helps that person out, or gives that insight, something like that.
So, what is the formula here then? Who's spending what time?
Hardly
100%.
1%.
100%.
Meaning, there is no conversation here. This is no dialogue. There is no discussion. This who's observing? Observing. You're not observing here. Your mentee is observing who? You. Is not what you say, is what you do, they observe. I'm in an aha moment right now. Which is the strongest form of coaching? This. No matter what you say, they will not believe you. Are you doing it? Are you doing it? And are you inspiring them by action or not? When I started Passionpreneur Mastermind, I was the highest driven person. I was the person who will go boom, 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 massive action. I'll create so much of content. When people are observing that, oh, my mentor is going to that speed and he's doing so many things. My mentor is giving TEDx speech. I'll also do it. I don't have to even come and tell you that, hey, you need to get a TEDx speech, Joe Stock speech. I will do it and I'll make my mentees observe me so that they'll aspire to do the same thing. This is the most powerful thing.
This works.
This really, really works. So in short, it's by default, you have to be so driven. By default, you have to have so much of discipline. By default, you have to be so organized. By default, you have to create so much of massive content that your mentees look up to you and say, you know what? I want to do exactly what my mentors did. Till now also, I'm coaching all of you like this. Remember the discussion that we had in the car?
Just flashed everything.
I just flashed, right?
That, yeah.
I did not coach a lot of you through this or this. I did sometime this, but most of the time I was doing on this mode, and this is the ultimate level. Very few people understand in the coaching and mentoring business. Everybody is focusing here, few here, and selected here. Rarely you'll find somebody here, because most of the mentors and coaches, they are more of a Gyan gurus. They just come and give the knowledge and go away. But if you really want to reach to that level, then you have to operate to massive level, world-class level. That's why world-class. That's why if you become world-class, if you act world-class, if you live world-class, your mentees will automatically be elevated. Of course, initially you have to use these methods to get them somewhat clarity in their life. But over a period of time, you need to go in this autopilot mode, self-sustaining.
Grant Cardone does the same thing.
Grant Cardone does the same thing. He takes the massive action. So his team looks up to him and says, man, if this guy is 60 years old, if he can do it, what the hell am I doing at 30s or 40s? He's really master at it, 10x level. So you guys have to be at that level, right? So this you understood. This you understand what it is. This also you understood what it is. Now, a lot of you are here. Some of you got here. Now I want you to be here. This has to happen by default. Let's dissect the self-realization coaching. So in this, if this 20-80 is the rule, 20% you should be talking, then what is it that you should be doing then? Questions. Your job as a mentor is to just ask questions and ask questions in a different way. Same question. Again, I have seen Umesh doing it beautifully. If you listen to his calls, that's why I ask you to listen to cross-pollination, listen to each other's call, because each one of you have a different style. Right? You need to understand which style is what and which one is working. So ask the same question. For example, if I have to help somebody with the clarity, what questions can I ask? If I have to ask somebody with the mission or vision or purpose, like what do you want to do in life, what kind of questions can I ask?
What things, like, just like gravitate you towards them? What is your natural pull towards?
Yes, wonderful, right? So what is it that you get attracted towards? One question.
What are the challenges you've gone through and have you overcome it?
Wonderful, right?
What do you consider your best achievements so far?
Wonderful. Again, see, it's the same. Question is the same. You're just asking from different angles.
What people say about your quality means.
Wonderful. What is it that people say that you are good at? What is the pain that you felt that you don't want anybody else to feel?
As next by.
Yeah. Why? Why is it? What are the things that you do when you lose track of time? Right? When was the last time you were so excited and you remember, your eyes were watery? Something like that. See, it's the same topic, same question asked in a different format, different way.
What thoughts you get in the entire day, most of the day, in terms of your career or future? What are the thoughts that you get?
Could be, right? So your art of asking questions in a different way is going to really help you. And that is one of the reasons why I asked you to read this book, High Performance Habits. Because it has exercises and asks you to write down the questions. Because if you master the art of asking right questions, you master the art of self-realization then. You make that person realize what is missing in that person. Right? Because I can give information, I can even give motivation, but andar se jab tak nahi aayega na, they would not take action. Jab tak andar se, if I would have not questioned you today in a debate, you would have not had aha moment and realization that, oh yes, now you will not forget those things.
Not only for the aha moment for that specific topic you were discussing, but overall, I told you, it unlocks so many things for me.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. That's all you need to do. Right? Somebody's feeling low. Somebody is not taking action. What kind of question would you ask?
Why are you facing the challenge? Why?
What do you think is holding you back?
Yeah, what are holding you back?
What else?
What are the limiting beliefs that you're carrying? Just can you brief me about your limiting belief?
Okay, a lot of time they do not even have an understanding of what the limiting belief is. Otherwise, they would not have it. Huh?
What are the emotions you are having when you are having that kind of feeling?
Correct. What kind of emotion you're having?
Resources would you need to make it happen?
Why are you having those emotions? What emotion is it? Name that emotion. Guilt, fear, anxiety, worry, stress. What is it?
Inducing clarity, right?
Getting the clarity. Asking the right question, inducing clarity. Okay, I'm having this emotion. Why are you having this emotion? Make them think. Your job as the self-realization coach is to make them think, because thinking is the hardest job ever. Nobody wants to think. If you want to be the highest paid coach and mentor, your job is not to talk. Your job is not to inspire. This can be good when you're a motivational speaker on the stage. But as a coach, as a mentor, this is the quality you need to have. It's a huge difference. Right? So it's a different hat that you need to wear. Then you need to ask him, okay, how often do you get this feeling? Are there certain triggers, that some incident that happened that you feel this? You see, now you're going deep. Right? What do you do when this happens? Have you tried something else? Did it work? If it did,
Why didn't you repeat it?
did you try to repeat it?
Why did you stop?
If it did not, what else did you try? I don't know. What else could you try? See? I'm not giving any answer to that person. But by these questions, the person is getting so much of clarity within themselves.
Can I add something? to
Yes,
this?
please.
In my yesterday's meeting, the agenda was very simple.
Hmm.
They wanted a team building. Okay? And they called me and I was like, what? How should I take this meeting ahead? So I remembered the thing that Ron said, ask questions. Same thing, ask questions. You know, they were asked them questions like I had a certain thing in my mind कि ये मुझे करना है corporate इसमें, ठीक है? But still when I asked questions, I actually refined my entire one day का event. I asked them questions like, is there any corporate messaging that you want to go set forward? Like all employees would be there.
Yeah.
So any corporate messaging that a corporate has in mind that the employee should know.
Yes.
She was like, wait a second, I'll come back to you. Then I asked her things like, what kind of employees do you have? Like if for MBAs, the kind of activities would be different. For graduates, the mindset level is different. So the way put some, hey, wait a second, I didn't. They were like, just games. That's team bonding. I was like, that's not team bonding.
Yep.
So when did that
Beautiful.
happen? When the questions came up, and she was like, wow, this is so interesting.
Yeah. That's the way. That's why people say that people don't look up to you when you make them understand thing, or they don't buy from you when you make them understand. They buy from you when you understand them. When you make them understand that you understood them. Right? So again, let's look at the funnel. Okay, so every problem that you face in life, either yourself or your mentees, use this technique of going deep into asking yourself the question. Like when somebody is feeling low. Right? This is the problem. What is the first question?
What do you mean by exactly the word?
Yeah, what exact feeling is it?
Are you going?
Yeah, what is it? Define the feeling.
Why do you feel low?
Yeah. Define the feeling. Is it stress, worry, anxiety? What else? Depress.
Overthinking.
Yeah. Overthinking. What else?
Fear of success or
Fear. Yeah, fear.
Success or failure.
Whatever. Yeah, fear. What else? What else could be the emotion if he's feeling low?
Comparison.
Peer pressure.
Pressure,
Comparison.
Jealousy.
jealousy.
Comparison.
Spelling क्या है?
JELOUSY. Comparison.
Okay, again pressure. So there could be n number of emotions.
Yeah, so many.
You need to understand exactly why you're feeling. I mean, what exact emotion you're feeling, right?
And
Why?
trigger point.
Yeah. Why is this happening? Any specific time?
Environment and people.
That's fine. But any specific time, any specific thing that
Same.
triggers it?
Doctor asks questions.
Yeah, exactly. You have to become the doctor. You have to dissect their, problem. Whatever this is problem, feeling low, you go dissect it. Okay? And what do you do?
Consider.
Yeah. This happens. How often does this happen? Right? And following question to this will be, did it work? Yes. Repeat. No. What else can you do? You see? This is what you do as a self-realization coach and mentor. You just ask them the right set of questions. Why is this happening? Any specific? And by the way, when you're asking these questions, you have to be very, very good listener. You cannot just ask question and move on. Your job is to connect the dot. Oh.
And when you document only, we can connect.
Yeah. When you start documenting this, you will be able to connect the dot. Then you go deep. Maybe then you realize there's a weak self-image. Oh, right? Do you feel that you are lesser than somebody else sometime? Do you feel inferior sometime, that somebody is smart? Do you feel nervous talking in front of people? You see, when you get the hints, then you ask them about specific this thing. If you remember Rahul's coaching,
Rahul Raina, yeah.
We did those deep evaluation by asking just questions.
Yeah.
You were following this format. Then I got into this format, and then we started realizing, okay, how it is happening, how it is not happening, right? So your job is to be like this, and then somewhere you share the inspirational stories. Somewhere, at the end, especially when you go to the solution point, then you share the inspiration. Okay, and then you give them some advice that, okay, here's what I want you to do. Solution is do this, 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 this. Like if you realize the weak self-image, read the psycho-cybernetics. Okay, on priority, read it few times. Number 2, use the affirmations, which is again opposite to the weak self-image. He feels that I'm not confident, I'm not good enough. You be more powerful, right?
What's the last one?
What else can you do?
What else?
What else can you do? There you go. This is a self-realization. Now when you go and observe each other's call now, go and see which form and which mode they are operating in. Right? And realize that you got to get to the 3rd level soon. Right? It's like a car. You're driving the car on the 1st gear, car chalegi nahi aage. 2nd gear will go. 3rd gear also, it'll go better, faster, but you'll still not be the optimum. This is the 4th and top gear. This is it. Simplified. Coaching simplified.
That observational coaching is God level. That is how God is. Nirankar. He just
Oh, yeah.
anything, yeah.
Absolutely.
And
You just observe.
Just take your time to
Fine.
resonate that frequency, and that's when
100%.
that
But
because I've heard it.
correct. Because you picked up bits and pieces from everywhere.
Categorization was never there.
And then what was happening is you were juggling between this, this and this and this and this within the same coaching. Don't juggle too much between this. Stick to one style, get the person to realize. Then you realize, oh, okay. Then you ask him, so what are you going to do about it? See, you're not saying that do this, do this, do this. What are you going to do about it? How long can you go on living like this? Right? Again, HTC style, right? He knows it. How long can you go on like this? What has it cost you? See? Pain. That's what I'm saying. Those people will be driven by pain. I told you, inducing the pain. Some people, why they're not inspired? Because you're not induced the pain enough. You're trying to inspire. But not everybody can understand the language of inspiration. They're not driven, self-driven. For them, you need to be this. And you need to induce the pain. Like, are you not fed up living this life? Where you have to always go paycheck to paycheck. Are you not fed up? Where you can't even see your son, your daughter for so many days. Are you not fed up listening to the boss that you don't like? When would you end this? How long can you go on like this? 5 years? 10 years? 20 years? 50 years? See, now the pain just becomes bigger and bigger. Because now you're going so deep into their pain. You're making them realize. Right? If you follow this, you can make anybody, jump off the bridge. Otherwise, inspiration says they will not jump off the bridge. The pain is the severe emotion that will make them do things, not the inspiration. Pain is severe thing. So people will try to take action, to come out of something. Usually, people not try something to get into something. Getting into something is the success, growth-minded people will do it. It will motivate them. They're hardly 2%, 5% people. The rest all driven by fear, anxiety, and scarcity. For them, pain, fear is what's going to drive them. Aha moment.